night where we played that when I gave you your personal objective, it was the most vague one out of all of
Yeah.
them. Um, and frankly, I had like a ballpark idea, but I didn't really know what I wanted to do with it.
Yeah.
So this was definitely one of those things where I could be like, okay, all right, let's focus in on what this is, bring it back in to the story a little bit,
Yeah.
and believe it or not, all of your backstories do have a point where they'll kind of intermingle and stuff like that.
Yeah.
About so, that's assuming it all plays out the way I hope for it to. But as long as we're having fun, that's the main thing. So,
I have fun.
Afine. Let me do this real quick. Do you have? I know this is a very inefficient way to do it, but do you have on your phone? Oh, what is it called? Game Pigeon?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay, because I am
Gonna play
probably going to
chess.
utilize that at least a little bit, at least a little bit. It's mostly for dramatic effect, but why wouldn't it be? This is me we're talking about. Um, let's see.
I
Let's
think I
see.
have it. Yeah, game pigeon.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Okay. So, before we get into it, do you have any questions, comments, thoughts, concerns?
No,
Not
I'm
me.
excited. I want to see where it goes.
Okay. There's definitely a few loose ends in this one, but I think you'll get what I'm giving to you through it. So, all right, let's begin. Let me take a little sip of my blazing hot. Oh, nope, not going to take a sip of that. That is too hot. Okay. Well, wait. We're going to wait for that to cool down a little bit. All right. I have titled this particular session The Chess Piece. That blindsided you with that one. I know that.
Whoa!
Jed, what is your father's name?
I think it was something like Ob. It started with an O, like Obadiah,
Obadiah.
or yeah. I think we'll go with that.
Did you have a last name in mind, or not really?
No, I never really thought of it, but we were noble, so I wanted you to have like an established noble family.
Okay.
Like if you ever thought of one, like they're not the highest, but they're not low by any means. You know what I mean? They're not like
I
a
got you.
king, but they're up there. Like people walk by and they're like, "Oh,"
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
he was a spoiled rich kid. So,
For
but
sure.
dad's name's Obadiah and mom was something really simple.
You said
Like
mom was something really simple.
yeah, it was like Grace.
Nice.
It was just
Awesome.
really easy. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Cool. All right. Well, we will get this show on the road. Um, the very opening of this entire um, experience being um, your father, Obadiah, sits across from you at a table, and he says, "All right, son, let's see what you got." He says this as he prepares his shimmering black chess pieces on his end of the board, the light of the fireplace outlining each one in a silhouette of fire and shadow. Your ivory stone pieces face his as the match is about to begin, and your father smiles at you and motions for you to make the first move. He always seems to let you make the first move. You've always enjoyed it, though. The pressure of setting the first steps towards the battle on the board. And with that, let's just see what happens.
All right.
And obviously, we can talk intermingle during this,
Yeah.
as is. I've never played you in chess myself, so.
Oh, I'm not good. Well, Dad, we'll find out if I'm any good this time. So Jed's gonna like pretend stretch.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm pretty good. How old is Jet at this time?
At this time, because you're about like what, 18 or 19?
I'm 19,
1920.
1920 right now in the game.
You're not a whole lot younger, but you're maybe closer to
16, 17.
17-ish. 17-ish, yeah.
Okay. Cool. So Jet'll stretch and be like, oh, I don't know, old man. This might be the day.
Well, let's just see. See what you got.
Yeah. So Jet'll take 2F and he's going to move it up to 4F. So you'll see.
All right.
He'll reach up and he'll go, oh, yeah. And he'll move it up.
Let's see.
By the way, I like your little character. Mine's got pink hair, but yours is like.
Okay.
Any day now, Father.
Yes, I know.
I have studies to attend. Ooh.
You've always been good with your openness, so I have to ensure that I'm really testing you the best way I can.
Okay. Makes sense to me. And he'll take the knight at 1G and put it up to 3G. Or 3H, excuse me.
Now, son, remember what I told you about boxing your knights. All right? You can't trap them like that. But you've always been clever. Wouldn't surprise me if you have a trick up your sleeve. Let's see. Okay.
He laughs. Yes. Obviously. Oh.
Don't get me wrong, son. You're good for your age.
I was always good at challenging my father. And that's what he says. So you just moved that, and I was always good at challenging my father.
Challenging indeed. I always found it a wonder trying to figure out what exactly is going on in that head of yours.
Sometimes nothing.
Well, then you take after me. Yes, I believe this will do. I see. I see. Very forward with your knights, I see.
You always told me they were for protecting, but also for attacking.
Well said.
How dare you?
I hope that in exchange for your chess practice, you have been keeping up with your studies as well.
Of course, of course. I learned what was it? I learned this cool spell the other day. It's more of a cantrip, but it was quite interesting.
Hmm.
This local bard taught it to me. He was
Really?
yeah.
Wow.
He said that there was a way to attack with your words. It was
Oh,
very interesting.
very cool. You have to demonstrate that to me sometime. I do believe that battles of words and wits have always been the most challenging ones. Hand me a sword, I can hold my own, but battle of the mind, those are the tricky ones.
Yes, I've always wondered if mom's brains were the ones given to me or if they were yours. I think I got a little bit of both. But if you want me to be honest with you, I think I got mom's. And he'll look up at his dad. Fun spirit.
Oh, let's see.
But more to report on schooling. It's been quite interesting, to say the least.
Let's,
But I've managed. Mm. Your pawn is mine, father.
Can't blame you for that one.
Ooh. Mistakes have been made. My fool of a took.
Fool of a cook!
No, no.
Let's see. Am I the only one getting advertisements from my end of the chess game? Because I believe I am.
Father, they added these magical advertisements to the board. I know. We should have bought it from Yazanki's, but
Yeah, yes, you're right. You're right.
I just like the gold trim. I just like the gold trim, Father. It was nice. You gave me the money for it. I appreciate it. I'm sorry for the ads. It's like Jonathan's health potions are us. Come on down to Jonathan's, and you're just trying to.
John's barbecue foot massage.
You're like, damn, man. Mm-hmm. Mm.
Okay, all right. Let's see. Okay. Okay.
My father hates me.
Your father loves you. That's why I have to teach you.
Oh,
Another move with a pawn. I see you're going with the Lexidarian approach. Nothing wrong with that.
must you constantly call out everything I do?
How else are you supposed to learn?
And he'll kind of like sit up in the chair, like in a like awkward way, like a kid. You know, he's not even 18 yet. Mm. Mm. Very bold. You press me. You make me make other moves.
What combat's all about, my son?
Yes, you are correct.
Retreating unite.
He must protect the king.
Mm-hmm.
I like to think that this is the actual banter that they go through, like
Mm-hmm.
their whole lives. Like they try to get at each other. Like
Yeah.
the
Oh,
dad's,
for sure,
the
100%.
dad's like Obadiah's like doing this, and Jed's like, what do you mean I'm doing what you taught me to do? And he's like, okay.
That sounds pretty realistic. Do you just for some exposition and everything, because my brain is mush? Do you seem to recall? Let me see. Do you seem to recall any particular fond memories of Jed and his father?
Um, I wrote that his father, um, they played chess a bunch. That he always tried to make time for him, even when, sometimes he couldn't.
Yeah.
But he always tried to make time for him, and that's something that meant a lot to Jed, that he tried.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So, um, eventually it got to the place where, Jed was like, the memories that he had of his father were stuff like this, exactly what we're doing right now. So
Yeah.
that's like he would ask him about school, like almost like a regular parenthood, but with less personality to it.
Mhm.
So the fondest memory are these chess things, and then when they talk about business or when he was learning from his own father,
Yeah.
his mother was more of the let's go play and I'll take you to the park and let's go do this fun stuff, and oh, you
Yeah.
want to do music. So Jed did lean towards, because eventually obviously he becomes a bard, and I think by this time in his life he's already started to
Mhm.
butt heads with his father, because his father wanted him to be a, I forgot, it was like someone smart, like someone who goes to school and becomes something more than just a bard, right?
Yeah.
Because I was going to be a noble. I was going to own all this property and do all these things. And, once I start uh, showing, oh, I'm getting an advertisement. Oh, now my side of the board is showing it.
Yep. There's magic advertisements, I'll tell you.
Oh, something about new pigeons for transferring. Father, I'm still learning Elvish. I can't read this. Why would they give us Elvish ads?
It takes getting used to.
How bold. Hmm.
I think back to your first tournament whenever we play like this. You were so nervous.
I still am. Always.
Come a long way since then, though.
That is the truth. Hmm.
Right. What was that?
Oh.
My goodness.
I still remember that one tournament with the boy with the weird sounding lisp. He spit all over my face.
I vaguely remember that. We had to wipe up the board after the.
Checkmate. Checkmate. He won. I shouldn't talk bad of him. He was a great chess player.
Oh, on the alternative side, sort of wish he hadn't talked at all.
You're not wrong.
Yes, I believe you've forced my queen to draw back.
A breath of fresh air. But not for long, of course. You always have something up your sleeve for some reason.
I try my best.
I must not get cocky.
Mm-hmm. me see.
I'm sorry, Father, but queens are dangerous.
You understand the rules. I can't blame you. And while you are proceeding with the game and he's making his moves, you glance up after it's been, a few minutes and everything, and you notice that he's like sweating a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And he's kind of tilting his head. And he's. Okay.
Are you all right, Father?
Yeah, yes. I'm good. I'm just. I haven't made a couple bad moves, and so I'm kind of throwing myself off, I guess. You're doing well. Proud of you.
Mm. No, Father. I must retaliate. That was my favorite pawn. His name was Jonathan.
Jonathan, eh? Oh, you always did like to name your pieces.
Well, it helps you get used to them. But I will say, times 2, 16, 32. Yeah, 32 pieces. Sometimes it's hard coming up with 32 names.
Good move. Good move.
Good trades. It's this game is going well. You have me spread. Hmm. I must take out your horses.
Damn. Ruthless, son. Ruthless.
We must be, even if it costs us everything.
That is the truth. Hmm. Hmm.
Hmm. You are not sick, are you?
Not exactly. And it's at this point that Grace, your mother, uh, walks into the room from the kitchen,
Okay.
smelling of freshly baked bread, and she goes, "Boys, are you still playing that game? It's time to settle in for the night."
It,
Obi,
but
are you all right? And he kind of, yes, Grace, I'm fine. I'm fine. Just we're almost done. Really, it's all right. And Grace goes, Jed, if you'd go up to your room, go ahead and settle in for the night. I just have to speak to your father for a little while, if you don't mind. And go ahead.
I was just gonna be like the reaction. Yeah, so Jed's gonna
Mhm.
go like start like, and Jed knows that if he travels down this, it's just gonna make everything worse. So he says, "All right, to be
And
continued,"
for sure.
and
And
he'll get up and shake his dad's hand and
mhm.
say, "I to be continued," and then he'll walk out.
well, well, before you do, just to add a little extra stuff in there,
Yeah.
um, but your dad, in remarks to your mom, says, and as we know, the queen is the most powerful piece. Uh, but nothing like a little pop quiz before bed. And he holds up a knight, and he goes, "All right, this piece. What is its goal? What's its purpose?
Tactics wise or movement wise.
What is its purpose?"
So Jed'll think about it. And his dad's probably told him 100 times, but he always forgets. And he'll go, um, I know it moves in an L shape and I can use it to attack.
All right. He picks up another piece, picks up a rook, and he goes, "And this one?
I
What's its goal?"
usually I usually use it to castle with 3 pawns in the way, but you always take out my pawns before I can castle because you hate me.
Quite the opposite, my boy. All right. Well, excellent game. You've improved. In fact, I think if we'd kept playing, you would have had me. But in the meantime, I can come up later and say goodnight. So cuddle up, and I'll be up there in a little bit.
All right.
And
And then
yeah, and
he'll,
you do just that.
yep, Jed'll head out.
Awesome. Let me. I forgot I double sleeved some of these. So, Jen, when you reach your bedroom, you walk in. It is a large carpeted room, as we both know, your family is rather well off. So you have a good sized room,
Hmm.
a small fireplace in there. It's burning softly next to a row of books on a tall bookshelf, painted in crimson, and it spans along the length of the wall nearby. Atop of the fireplace mantle are trophies and medals, and you recall the many chess tournaments you entered when you were younger. And still to this day, your father does amaze you with his chess skills, but it's to be expected of a man of his experience. And you go ahead, you prepare yourself for bed. You listen to the crackling of the fire. And so at this time, I want you to go ahead and roll a perception roll for me, please.
Yeah.
You're like, only a half hour into the game, first roll.
No, that's fine. All right. I'm like, I actually still have OG stats from
Nice.
level 1.
Awesome.
So it was an 18 for that. That's the only thing that changed. Cool. So that's that. Okay.
Okay. You said
Give me a.
18? Oh, okay. Never mind. That was
No. I haven't rolled. I was
yeah.
looking at something.
Yeah.
Rolling what? Perception?
Yes.
7.
7. Okay. Um, well, as you prepare yourself for bed and you start settling in, you hear the muffled conversation of heightened emotion from both your mother and your father from downstairs, and the words are cutting in and out as far as being able to be understood. They're echoing a little bit through the corridor and the staircase, um, but you seem to make out the voice of your mother, and you identify the voice of your mother in a concerned tone, and you hear her. She goes. She goes. Obi, it's a machine. It's not magic, and even mine. I've tried my best, and the doctors say it's not enough. Your heart isn't taking to the technology well. You have to slow down, and even these chess games, they're stressful. It pushes, and we can't have that. Take some time off of work. Skip a tournament or two. And your dad, in response, says, Darling, it's my job that keeps the roof over our head and food in our bellies. Same with the tournaments. They pay. Machine or not, you know I'd wear out 100 hearts to take care of my family. Have faith, my love. And you just hear her say, I have faith, but I want to have you too. And that's when you recall it happened a couple years ago, and you do tend to forget quite often because it just kind of happened and then doesn't come back up much. But your father did, in fact, have a heart operation a couple years ago. And using the technology that they have in Aldervin, it is very well created. It's top of the line technology, the best money can buy, in fact. Um, and he has a device in him that does help him to live. Um, but there is a tiredness in his eyes that you sometimes can't help but notice. In response to all this, you sigh and you lay yourself in the large silk sheeted bed. You just look at your ceiling, deep in thought. Right now, what's going through Jed's head?
So he knew about this condition, but he often tries to forget about it
Pretty
because he
much.
doesn't. You think your parents are invincible, So Jed's thinking like, no, he's fine. There's so denial of the whole
Yeah.
situation, right? But he's been stuck on denial and stuck on forgetting, and he doesn't forget because he's just forgetful, but he does it because he subconsciously
Yeah.
tries to. So Jed's really almost forgot after he hears that. He thinks, no, it's no, he's fine. He's fine.
Yeah.
I've never seen him. Yeah, no, he's fine. And so he forgets about it almost. Not doesn't forget him. It keeps ringing in his mind what his mother's saying, but
Yeah.
he's like, no, there's no way.
Yeah. Absolutely. And obviously, very very discouraging. Even your mother, who is she is of magic blood. She is able to perform magic of all sorts. Not super powerful by all means, but she it is in her nature. You do recall that there were even times where she's tried using magical means to help him, and whatever the case is, it's just not doing it.
Yeah.
So they've resorted to this technology. um, while you're thinking of these things, you are startled by a slight thump in the corner of your room, and you lurch up. And when you lurch up, you actually knock a stuffed animal out from under your one of your pillows towards the end of the bed, and it's your stuffed wolf. You have a little stuffed wolf, And obviously, you're too old now to play with him, but once upon a time, this was your favorite gift from your father. What was his name, by the way? Your stuffed wolf.
Um, Blake.
Blake. Blake the wolf. I like it a lot. Where the heck did my pen go? Dropped it into the abyss. Oh, here it is. Okay. Blake the wolf. Awesome.
I used to call it Blech though.
Blake. I like that. Um, you stand up though to examine the thump that you heard, and you approach your bookshelf, where in the shadowed corner, you see that a book has fallen to the floor. And you pick it up and you examine it, and on the cover of it, you realize it is actually your favorite book from childhood, and you're like, wow, you haven't thought of this thing in years, let alone read it. But your wonder gets the better of you as you climb into bed with the book. And what was it again? It was yeah, you climb into bed with Blake as well. You just kind of plop him next to you, and you begin to read. Your eyelids growing heavy as the moments pass. It is at this time I'm going to do two things, my dear friend. I'm going to go to the bathroom.
Okay.
While I go to the bathroom, I'm going to send you the child's book that you read.
Ooh.
So yeah,
I shall read.
I will be right back.
All right. Grant a song. The ones from lands beyond. Here's the song the queen would say that brightens night and darkens day, so that no matter where you go, will always serve you so. Why, thank you, queen, said the knight. He took the song and smiled with delight. To the mountain he traveled long to find another sacred song. Who goes there? Said a rumbling voice. I'd turn back now, but I have no choice. The knight, it said, his path was blocked. He turned to see the beast that mocked. Little man, the dragon laughed, you have fallen right into my path. I tire so of noisy creep. I've gone many months without any sleep. The knight began to think aloud. This creature once did bite and proud. Oh, so mad. Rest seemed to be so bad. So the knight took up his flute and played the tune. Each note and toot. The night that part always makes Jed laugh, and he remembers a lot of it. That's funny.
Mhm.
The magic song brought dark of night and put to rest the monster's fright. That is better, the dragon sighed, and thanked the knight who bowed with pride. Here is a song for your quest that will open up any treasure chest. The knight went now to darkened lands where creatures cried with clawing hands to a chamber by time where there a beast sat and softly cried. I cannot feel a single thing. Your weapons will not do more than ring. My heart is broken, so it cannot break unless restored to its former ache. So where is the cure? Said the knight, who watched as the beast gave him a fright. Inside this chest he pointed to one. I've tried and tried, but now I'm done. The knight stood bravely and remembered the song. He played it loud and played it long, and opened up the magic chest. The beast had finally seen the best. What is inside? The beast asked the knight. The knight said, it's a song. Is that right? The beast thought only of a song he knew, and inside his heart a glowing grew. The knight took the song and played it well, and to his knees the beast it fell. His heart had finally been restored. I must thank you, my lord. The knight would remember this sacred song and go world around to heal those along. If such a song you came to find, would you use it on another or for your own kind? Hmm.
Yes. And that is the book, The Land of Melody. Jed's favorite childhood book. When you complete this book, you think back to the words of that last line from the last
Mm-hmm.
song, and the words of your mother echoing in your mind about your father's heart, his broken heart. The wolf sits beside you, and you scratch behind his ear as he looks to you and him, and you just think to yourself, looking around you now at the lush green island around you. What an island. The deep forest around you with birds and creatures of the wilderness calling in the distance. The wet crunch of exotic soil under your feet. What if there really was a chance such a song existed? What if... And you hear a snap in a bush nearby you. Something is approaching from the nearby bushes, and your wolf, Blake, now a actual wolf, beside you, growls and his ears go back and his tail goes rigid. At this point, you've come to realize you're in some sort of a dream. You've drifted off to sleep while you were reading your book. What weapon is in Jed's hand right now?
Probably a short sword.
Okay. Works for me. As the noise approaches and you hear the dum, dum, you realize there's more than one noise, and sounds like stomping, but
Okay.
not quite stomping. There's definitely heavy steps though, and out from the nearby thickets and bushes and trees, into the green light of the forest near you, two strange creatures, maybe about 3 feet tall. They're hunched over, and they have it looks like either black skin or maybe armor, all along their body. They're completely black. They're hunched over. They're hopping towards you. Just nothing like anything creature-wise you've ever seen before. But they seem to have small blades in their hands, ready to attack. They are followed behind them by a tall humanoid creature with the head of a horse, also completely black from head to toe. Go ahead and roll initiative.
Okie dokes. I got a 20, non-natural.
Okay. All right, and with that, you do get the first move.
Real quick,
Yes.
am I playing this as my current level 5 bard that I have?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Just making sure.
And as they approach you, you have two of the short creatures on either side coming towards you. Behind them, further away in like a triangle shape, is the horse-headed creature.
Okay. So I'm going to use everything in my arsenal like normal, but I'm going to put a different spin on it and what I'm thinking, because this is, I'm presuming, a dream. Jed is thinking of how cool it is that he's having a lucid dream, because he knows what they're called. He's not stupid, he's educated. And he's thinking like, well, these are the adventures that I could go on as a bard, searching, maybe for this specific song, and maybe I'll be able to do it one day. And so he's like, let's just have fun with this. Let's just go all out with all my magic. Oh, the special stuff that I don't have yet, but I totally do. So I'm going to, so there's two in front and one following behind, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's look at what I can do.
The two in front are about 10 feet away right now, hopping closer. The one behind is about 25 feet away.
Mm-hmm. One second.
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay. I'm just going to cast. Sorry. Okay, I'm gonna cast.
You act like anyone else has a turn. It's just me and you, dude. You're fine.
I know. I'm just sorry. I'm taking so long to do it.
You're
I'm
all right.
gonna reach my hand out, and I'm going to. Never mind. I can't do anything far off because I don't have any like distance spells yet.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna attack. I have a sword. I'm gonna roll the hit the one in on the right.
All right. Roll for it.
Oh shit. I mean, dang. Roll. Okay, that's gonna be a 22 to hit.
That'll do it.
Sweet. And we'll do
Roll damage.
6 plus 5. That's 10 damage.
Awesome. You said you're just using your sword?
Yeah, that's it. That's all I'm doing.
Okay. So yeah, you slash down your sword, and as you cut into this creature, it doesn't even make a noise except for the contact of the blade hitting it. The cut that emerges on it, it's like made of wood. It's like it's just made of wood, completely black through and through. No verbal noise, but damage is damage, I suppose. That being said, the same creature hops closer to you and tries to jump at you with its small, like hatchet style blade, and sweeps out at you, missing. However, where the second one follows up and also swings at you, you're kind of in the middle of the triangle now with how they're moving around you. The other one swings and actually hits the first one in response to it. And I am rolling for these. They're just rolling really bad. I'm notoriously bad at rolling. So, what am I doing? That's not the right one. There we go. So yeah, the other one swings out and deals damage to the first one that you attacked, and its little hatchet just goes thunk, right into its like head area. It's kind of just like a lump, but it just goes right into the head area, and they kind of struggle there, and it's fairly comedic. Blake the wolf runs up to the tall one, the one with the horse head, and goes for an attack, biting at what would be its legs, although its legs seem to be fused together into like a singular column, not dealing really any damage as the creature jolts and Blake goes flying back and scooting across the forest floor, not taking damage, but not being very effective. The same creature hops towards Jed now. Golly, man, I suck at attacks. And he misses with his first attack. They're not the most agile creatures as you dodge out of the way. So we're actually back to you now.
Is the wolf right next to me?
Yes.
All right, I'll use some of my movement to get him out of the way, like move him 15 feet away, because there's this spell that I just learned in real life that I was told I could possibly do, but I keep blowing myself up. So this will be the first time I don't blow myself up. And he's going to stand back over to those things, cast his hand out, and say, "It's over." And then he'll like release his hand, and it like he'll turn blue basically. In his mind, his whole body turns blue, not just like his eyes or like something in his hand. He just turns blue,
Yeah. Okay.
like an electric light blue, and then everything explodes.
Like blue fire almost.
Yeah, and then I'll tell you what to do. 1 sec. Sorry.
Yeah, please do.
Okay. They need to pass a DC 16 con save.
Okay.
And then I think they take half on a successful. Yeah, so you take half damage if it's successful.
It says DC 16.
DC 16.
All right, so we got one pass. We got, dang, okay, two passes. One fail. The horsehead failed.
Okay. Horsehead takes 22 damage. The
Very
other two take 11.
11.
And Horsehead, yeah, and then Horsehead goes back 10 feet.
Okay. Let's do this. Sheesh. So tell me visually what that looks like.
So in Jed's mind, when he does this, he like reaches out. He all turns blue because he doesn't have quite a grasp on what it is. And he reaches out, does that, explodes, and when it explodes, the two monsters in front of him, they, I guess they're fighting to get the axe out. They both turn and look, and they would like, I guess, bear down and
Mhm.
take the brunt of the damage, and it would be loud, so they would be stuttered for a second, but this wave would hit this thing in the back that couldn't see around the two other like
Mhm.
trees, and he looks up and it just goes and gets hit and flies back 10 feet,
Okay,
taking the full brunt of it all.
awesome. Well, the first one that you first attacked, in response to it, it breaks entirely,
Oh,
shattering
okay.
like wood, destroyed.
Okay.
So absolutely destroyed that one. The other one takes good amount of damage as well. It is significantly weaker. And then, like you said, the knight, or excuse me, the horse head, flies back, and you said it was 10 feet.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, and exactly like you said, kind of give it away there. But if you can't tell, you are facing a knight and two pawns.
Hmm. That's why they're child. Okay.
So awesome, good move. Um, so that first one is gone. So the remaining pawn hobbles back up to you. And what is your AC again?
16.
And it nails his attack. Whoop, 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 whoop. Let's not drop that. 4 damage as he
All right.
hops up to you with one of his hatchets and just kind of chops into somewhere below your waist a little bit,
Got it.
wherever he can.
My side.
Yes.
My butt
Um,
cheek.
Blake the Wolf is not a fan of this as he actually tries to attack that same pawn, getting a natural 20 in the
Ooh, double
process.
dim.
And in response, out of nowhere, Blake hops up, drives his claws and teeth into it, and it just
Oh,
crumbles
dude.
under him. Like he just
Nice.
completely, and he's like growling at it, and both of you turn your heads to face the remaining threat. The knight, as you now identify it, approaches you and successfully attacks.
Okay.
He deals you 4 damage though.
All
So
right.
could be worse. Could be worse. And his attack is a lot more unique. It's a lot more martial arts style, where he kind of like and just kind of like hits you physically. He doesn't seem to have a bladed weapon, but nonetheless, it feels like a horse kicked you pretty much. So
Gotcha.
fitting. Back to you though.
I will. I will cast. Since he's right in front of me,
Mhm.
I will cast Earth Tremor on him. I will make you cause the tremor in the ground within range. Each creature other than you in that area must make a Dex save throw. So he just has to pass DC 16. On a failed save, the creature takes 1d6 bludgeoning damage. Well, it's actually more d6 than that, but that's
Okay.
another thing. Um, that's a failed save. On a good save, 1 second.
Mhm. He did pass the save. I'll tell you that.
Oh, so you just don't take damage,
Oh, okay.
but you have to use for movement. It's every 5 minute. It's a 5 foot extra every time. So when you go, if it's just this little cube area, to get out of it, you have to move 10 feet.
Gotcha. Okay. All right.
And then back to normal.
Okay. At this time, about how far away from it would you say you are?
Like 5 feet away. What do you mean?
Oh, like as far as distance between you and him. So, like, does he need to travel a lot to get to you for his next attack? Or
No.
Okay, cool. Well, then you do that, and the earth begins to tremble and wave and shake beneath this creature, and he keeps his balance, but he's very odd about it. It's obviously not an ordinary living creature. He has some sort of strange balancing skill within him. Was there anything else you wanted to do on your turn?
No.
Okay. Blake goes back in for another attack, but same situation as the first time, biting onto his lower half and just kind of getting shaken off, especially with the trembling earth beneath him. Pretty ineffective. The knight comes closer to you and gets a nat 20 on his attack. Dealing you, holy cow. Dealing you 12 damage.
Got it.
No further follow-up effect from that, but significantly worse injury than the first time.
Yes.
This time to your chest. Just direct donkey kick to the chest, basically.
Gotcha.
And it kind of just...
Yeah. All right.
You.
All right. I'm going to cast... 1 second. Where is it? Yeah, I'm just gonna go into my arsenal and do what I usually do and cast Thunderwave.
Do it.
I'm trying to roll. It's not rolling the damage.
Oh.
19 damage if he fails the DC 16 Constitution
Wow.
save.
Dang. Okay.
And then it's only half if he passes.
He did not. So he said 19 damage.
19 damage, and he's pushed 10 feet back.
When you do this, the blue glowing happens again, and you cast it, and this time it as no, you're fine.
All right, yeah. So it just explodes him apart.
Yeah, it explodes, and now black wooden chunks are just falling around you, and as it falls to the floor, you hear as it hits the stone ground around you. You hear echoes of it, bouncing around, and the blue glowing that released from your attack seems to linger in the area around you, which you now realize is very dark. It's very, very dark where you're at, but there's blue glowing, and now you're seeing other glowing as you look around you, and now you're in a series of caves alongside Blake, your wolf. Just a singular cave, kind of a tunnel in front of you, and you start wandering forward, just kind of seeing where the path will take you. Let me see, there is just enough light to where you don't need a torch or anything. But as you go forward through the caves, you seem to hear a voice echoing from deeper down in the cave ahead of you. Sounds like your father. And very, very out of context, but seems you hear your father say, Jed, I've told you, be a gentleman. Do the right thing. Echoes through the halls, or through the cave. Very strange, and at this time you're obviously like, okay, what? Okay, what?
Yeah.
As you approach closer, the sound didn't sound too far away. As you approach closer, to source of the sound, you see what looks to be a large door, open doorway, and the shape of your father is walking towards you as you approach. Is there anything you want to say or do at this present time? No
He
wrong answer. But
it looks like my father.
it looks like your father, but it is still kind of dim over there, so it's not the best illuminated.
I think I will just call out, father.
Hmm. At the exact same time you say this, the exact same time you hear father, like not even an echo, like same moment.
Same person talk, almost like saying it at this. Yeah, I get you.
Yes, yes.
Okay, and I'll be like, huh?
Huh?
And so I'll look at my wolf.
And he looks up to you, and he's just looking around, doesn't have much to say, your wolf. um
And
at this
I'll
point at this point you're about 30 feet away from the door, and you still see the figure. Like I said, it vaguely looks like your father, but it is not the most clear. But as you get closer, it kind of clears up a little bit.
okay.
Do you want to do any kind of roll, really of your
Yeah,
choice? What
let's
do you want to do?
see. Let's do an investigation.
Okay.
Skills. This one. No, I don't. Investigation is. I know what investigation is. And I got a 12.
Yeah, 12. Um, like I said, the lights are not bright enough to really do a whole lot for you, but you do go ahead and you get closer as you're examining this thing. And as you get closer, you see the shape of your father. Um, but then you realize it's not your father. In fact, it is you, and it seems to be a mirror, not a door.
Ah,
Something is strange about the mirror, though. You're still a distance away from it, to where it's tough to analyze, though.
okay. So since I know it's a mirror,
Mhm.
out loud I'll be like, oh man.
Oh, okay.
And then I'll walk up to the mirror and
Okay.
check it out. Because in Jed's mind, this is just a mirror. I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah, yeah. You get closer to the mirror, and that's when you realize, as you approach, your reflection is true. It is you. You see the continuation of the cave, in the back of it.
Okay.
Um, However, you notice that Blake is not reflected in the mirror.
Ooh.
Um, and there is something off about it, but you can't quite place it. The mirror is the frame of it has some kind of old, looks like elvish writing uh, across the top of it, um, that you do. Now, does Jed speak Elvish? Does he have
He
Elvish?
does, but he does at the end of his schooling, so he only understands, we'll say, three
Mm.
quarters of Elvish. He's still finishing his studies, but he's by the end of schooling, he can speak and read Elvish
Mhm.
fluently. So I would say
Mhm.
he's got a lot of conversational skills with Elvish right now, and he probably has a lot of the like conjugations, verbs, all that stuff. I think the only thing that's left is practicality, like going out and
Mhm.
actually speaking it. That's probably all that's left. Like
Okay.
he could probably read it, maybe.
Well, I was going to say, let's do what kind of role could we have you do?
Uh,
Maybe.
like an intelligence, like what I already have in my head, and maybe do an
Yeah,
intelligence
yeah.
to see if I
Let's
can
do an
put it together.
intelligence. Yeah, let's do an intelligence check.
Just basic intelligence. Do it. Come on. It's a natural 20. for a total of a 21.
Okay. As you're looking at this inscription, Jed is not sure at this time if what he's experiencing is just a refreshing comeback of his elvish, learning, or if it is some kind of magic, or if it's just the influence of a strange dream. But the letters and inscriptions seem to twist around into recognizable formations. And it roughly seems to say something along the lines of, the gentleman may pass.
And so Jed in his mind is going to be like, it's a puzzle and a dream. And then he's going to be like, oh, yeah, it's a puzzle and a dream. Oh, let's keep going. And so he'll, reading that, the gentleman may pass, correct, is what it said.
Yes.
Yeah. He'll walk up to his reflection.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll like put it, obviously he'll try to go through, right? So he'll put his hand up to it and see what happens.
When you do this, your hand, when it meets the glass, it doesn't meet glass. It's your hand touching your hand.
So it's like,
yes, and every movement you make on it is you feel the warmth of your own skin. There. It mirrors every move you do.
The same.
Yep, exactly the same timing, same with, like I said, when you speak out loud, same thing there.
I'm gonna look at Blake, and I'm basically gonna be like, Blake, can you go past this? Just to see if he can, since his reflection's not there.
Roll for animal handling.
Oh, okay.
No, not that was part of my plan, but I'm just like, might be interesting.
You're like, where does he pull this out of? I got an 18.
Got 18. Nice. Well, that will do it. I'm sorry, I'm plugging something in real quick. But yeah, that'll do it. And Blake looks up to you and kind of looks at the mirror ahead. And whenever he looks up to you, not significant, but you just notice it. Blake has a cut from the previous battle, like just below his eye, like on his cheek, that bleeds ever so slightly. He doesn't seem in pain from it though. Just scratch, scar thing, whatever. But with that, he timidly looks up at the reflection of you and goes right under his arm and goes past. And he waits there for you. He sits down and looks back at you and waits.
And so I'll go, this is extremely interesting. Be a gentleman. And so he'll look at his reflection and go, I'm a gentleman. Are you a gentleman?
And it says the exact same thing back to you, same time.
And I will say, yes.
Says same thing, same time.
Okay. And then I'll go, I'll be like, And so he'll sit there and think, and what he's going through his head is probably for the next 5 or 10 minutes, he's going to start doing stuff like this. It'll be like,
yeah.
And he'll be like, after you. Which, okay. Eventually he'll get to that. Like, after you, just you go first.
Do you do anything when you say this?
I'll gesture for him to go past me.
It does the same thing.
Okay. And then I'll be like, if you insist.
It does not repeat after you.
Oh.
It stays at the last statement you just made.
Like to the corner, to the side. All right. And then I'll like say thank you and then walk past him if I can.
Mm-hmm. And you do. And as you step foot through the what would be the reflection, as your foot goes over the border of the mirror, the door, where the reflection would be, right at the end of your peripheral vision, the image vanishes, and you look around you, and now you see that you are in complete darkness, and the door is no longer behind you, and you find yourself alone in that darkness. Blake is no longer there with you. Is there anything you'd like to do at this moment?
Can I cast what do I have in my inventory? Can I check my pockets?
You can check your pockets, but I mean, if it's on your character sheet, we can just go with that.
Well, I always had a candle. I still have a candle. So if I have a candle, can I light it?
You can.
All right. So I'll take my candle out and cast Prestidigitation. One of the first things I learned with uh, vicious mockery. But that's one of the first things I learned in like the magic school I went to is just
Yeah.
prestidigitation. Mom used to use it on me to clean my face off all the time. She'd be like, ah, and it would just clean itself up, and I'd be like, oh.
Got you.
So I cast it to light the end of this candle, and then I hold it up to see if I can see anything.
When you hold it up, you see around you. It's very odd because now you're no longer in a cave. What were cave, like maybe columns around you, are now actual like building columns. But it's very very hard to see. In fact, roll me a perception check real quick.
Oh my gosh. I got a 15.
A 15. In the orange glow of the candle light that you've illuminated, you do see what looks to be columns of some sort of huge room with no windows or doors, nearly pitch black around you, all the way around, except for, like I said, the candle light. The interesting thing is when you are holding this light and you shift around as one does while you're holding the light.
Yeah.
The light, the light of the fire stays stationary, despite your movements, and you figure this out with more and more little movements until you move the candle away and that light is still there. Your depth perception kind of fixes itself, and you realize now there's a light in the distance, ahead of you. Yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna look at my candle and be like, that was weird. And I'm gonna head towards the light.
As you get closer, maybe it's about a 65-foot, 75-foot walk away. You're walking, and what was cave floor is now some kind of a marble or stone floor under you that has these like diamond cut shapes in it. Almost looks like a castle floor of some kind. But very very clean. But you're not focused on that. You just hear the echoes of your footsteps as you approach this light. And what was candlelight, as you approach closer, now begins to become a colder light, more white light, less warm. And before long, you see two figures ahead. Um, one standing up straight and one laying down flat, possibly on a table or a bench or something like that. Um, and that's when you finally get close enough and you recognize the face of your mother standing tall and with tears in her eyes and makeup dripping down her cheeks. She looks at you and she says, Jed, help, please. And that's when you look at the figure lying down and you barely recognize the face of your father. His skin is nearly white, dark circles frame his eyes as he looks to you weakly. And he reaches out his hand to take yours, and he just says, my boy, we'll see each other again, if the gods will it. When this happens, you feel a breeze, just a light breeze, just at the back of your neck. Some warmth radiating from it, and you turn. When you turn, you see falling from the ceiling of this room and fluttering to the ground, something glowing, about that big. It's just glowing, and it flutters to the ground and lands gracefully there. What are your thoughts? What are you feeling right now?
Denial of what I just saw in a dream. Oh, it's just a dream. I don't like this dream anymore. I kind of need to wake up. It's just turning into a nightmare. And then the paper, as it flies down, I'll actually go for it. I'll go to pick it up.
Yeah. As you do this, you pick it up, and when you open it, you unfold it. The light that illuminates from it, it pierces. It's super bright, just for a moment, um, and as it glows super bright, and your eyes readjust, the paper is now gone from your hand. But in the air, all around you, echoing throughout the halls of this strange place, you hear music, and you hear some kind of instruments or some kind of voice. And although you are a fan of music and you've heard tons of it throughout your life, magnificent music, um, the song that's being played, you can't make out the words to it. And you really can't even note the melody, but whatever it is, it brings a lump to your throat. You feel that whoever orchestrated this piece, man, there it is packed with magic and emotion all at the same time. When you do this, you turn again to your father and your mother, and now your father stands in front of you, just a couple feet away. His face and his eyes are bright with life, and he approaches you. He opens up his arms for you, and he waits for a hug.
In Jed's mind, he'll be like, "See, this is," and then he'll start getting confused, and then he'll forget about the confusion in the dream, and he'll go to hug his father.
Yeah,
because he looks better. He looks way better.
yes, he does, night and day, in fact. Um, in fact, as you wrap your arms around him, you feel his arms around you, and they're strong. They're
Mm.
they are as strong as what you remember when you were just a toddler. You
Yeah.
know, just that immaculate strength, and yet so gentle at the same time. And he holds you there, and um, while your head is there, he's just a tad taller than you. While your head is there against his chest, you almost see a glowing inside his heart, a red glow. Um, just behind the skin, and a warmth coming from it. And you hear your father say, "Thank you, Jed. You saved me." And you feel that feeling in your chest of happiness, of relief, because your father looks completely better.
Okay. Yeah.
What are you thinking?
Um,
That's gonna be like the main question.
Jed kind of, as all this is happening,
Mhm,
Jed was been in and out of lucidity within the dream, right?
mhm.
So he's been able to like control it and be like, I'm dreaming. And
Yeah.
then there for a minute, he lost it and was lost in the sauce of the dream. And now he's coming back to it and realizing, like, wait, what if there is? What if it's not just a fairy tale? What if it's real? What if there is a place
Mhm,
and I can? And for the first time, he's going to get over the denial of, in a dream, of course, he'll get over the
mhm,
denial of denying that his father's, dying, and he'll accept it and go, what if I can save him?
mhm. When you're thinking all this, you separate, from your father. Uh, the hug separates, and it's at this time that you look back where he previously was, the table that's there, the white cloth that's on it, and your mom is not there anymore. It's just you and your dad there, and your dad looks back as well, and he still has tears in his eyes from hugging you, but there seems to be a lingering sadness in his eyes. There is life, but there is sadness, and he looks at you and he says, "The song could only be used once, Jed. Only one life can be saved."
Hmm.
And there's just silence in the room around you for a second. While this moment is happening, you look around you again, and you're now on a dock. There's a ship just out on the dock waiting, no other people around. And your father is still standing in front of you. He hasn't moved anywhere. He's holding your hand in his hand. And he opens your hand, and inside of it, he places a rook. And he curls your hand around it. And he goes, "Jed, what is the role of this piece?"
Well, I use it to protect the king.
Good. And that's when he says, all the pieces have the same role. They are all made to be protectors, regardless of their power. And their purpose is null, with nobody to protect. Remember that, my boy. This life, this is the game, and these are our roles. Any remaining thoughts, or uh, anything following that?
Jed is kind of wondering what's going on. He's like, what? I
Yeah.
been here? Do I know this? Why is he talking like this? What am I doing? And then he'll, I guess, say to his father, like, I know. And then he'll like grasp the rook in his hand harder.
At this time, Jed, you awaken suddenly. The calm of early morning surrounding you as you see Daniel sleeping nearby in the graveyard that you fell asleep in last night, your hand clutching the ivory rook as you awaken thinking of your father. If you remember in the last playthrough we had, I told you when you woke up you had a strange dream.
Oh, that's right.
This was it. And when you awaken from this dream, holding this rook, you look at it, and you think of your purpose here. And you think of what drove you to board the ship that day, leaving Aldervin, to find a sacred song that could heal a broken heart. And that concludes the session.
Cool, awesome. Heck yeah.
So it didn't go nearly as long as what I probably hoped for, but
Oh no, that was fun.
awesome.
I enjoyed it.
Good. I'm glad. I said,
We have the pieces of song that I already have, correct?
Yep.
Where are they? I lost the notebook they were written in.
I can even if they're not saved in any chats or anything, I can resend them to you.
Let me go back and see if I can find them.
They might be in the group chat, the Skype chat.
That's what I'm hoping. Oh yes, here's the second page.
Okay.
So that's the second page.
Mm-hmm.
I have the first page too somewheres. I gotta remember to write it down. Oh boy. Watching myself drift away, a vision so dark and cannot stay. Trying to catch myself. Too little, too late. Can you see me? No, that's the puzzle. Oh no.
Yeah, if you need me to, I can resend it. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, I'll have to get those from you in the future.
Yeah, no worries. But I will say this, even though your session went probably the shortest of the three of them, I can genuinely say that because I'll end up posting this one on the YouTube channel, just to have it and make some TikToks of it or something like that. But that being said, this playthrough had the most tie-ins with the main campaign, along with your individual story as well. So if you ever get a chance to go back and skim through it and whatever, you might catch some things that possibly you might have caught some things during the current playthrough. I have no idea. But I sneaked a couple things into it that maybe could help later on. But yeah.
Oh yeah, wait. That's what I was thinking of. What was I? Oh, I'm gonna forget. I'll just have to watch the video. There was something that you said that I was like, oh, But you also, that's really good. Like I really appreciate you taking my backstory when I didn't write as much, and you were like, I got this, and then like as much as you're like, I didn't know where to go in the beginning with your like the task you gave me, and I really love what you did with it because now it makes not only more sense, but it has there's a driving force for me, which I think I was acting out, being desperate, looking for those pages really well.
No,
Like,
yeah, you were.
The disparity of like, is that what I think that is? Or when we were coming out of the Quarter God's Keep, and I'm like, I have to have that. I have to have that. Like, I will figure out something to do to have that. So it's that's cool. I really appreciate it. I really like it. It was super fun.
Awesome, thank you. I am hoping I was literally looking at laptops today, so I'm hoping once I'm able to get like Roll20 or something like that, that'll kind of round out the sharp edges, so to speak.
Yeah.
And yeah, because dude, I know I've told you about this. This is my passion. This is my passion project. This campaign.
Yeah.
And I'm really happy with how it's going. I'm having so much fun with it.
Me too. I was so excited to see what you were gonna do with it, and dude, when you were like, oh, that was fun. That was super fun. I like the story of it all, and I was talking to Sabrina earlier, and she was like, so you're just doing it one-on-one, like he's just doing a
Mhm.
session with you. And I was like, he wrote me a story, and I want to listen to it. Basically. Also, where did you get that book thing from? That's so cool.
Oh, the Land of Melody.
Yeah.
I wrote that.
Oh, you wrote that?
Yeah.
That was so fun. I was like,
Thanks.
doody 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 doo. That
Yeah,
was
I
fun.
wrote that when I was thinking up your backstory and everything. Um, and I read it to my dad actually a little while back. I was just like, hey dad, this is for Jed's backstory, and I was like, does it sound is it too much? Is it like whatever? And so I sat down with him, I read it, and he was like, okay, because I mean he knows what I was. I mean I read him your whole session that we did
Yeah.
tonight. So I was like, so this is kind of how it ties in, that kind of thing. I was like, I even made fake authors. How does that look? And he's like, okay.
That's what tricked me. I was like, is that an actual author? Did he just use real authors like
No.
right here? But no, it was super good. I really liked that. That was
Awesome.
awesome.
I'm glad. I'm so glad. And that story, it has some hints in it. It has some hints in it, which
Yeah.
I'm sure you picked up on. I mean,
Dude,
yeah.
I was like, I know what this is. I
Mhm.
get this. I know what this is.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
was like, but the best part is like maybe after, and I could just go with it, but like
Mhm.
he wakes up and maybe not everybody's awake yet. And I sit there and I'm thinking about the dream I just had for the first time, having memories and like trying to really meditate before I forget everything in the dream.
Mhm.
Maybe I was like, maybe I forget about like like very small parts, right? Like
Yeah.
the blast at one thing or this at the other, but I remember like try to focus on my family
Mhm.
because I've been here for so long. I don't remember. It's
Yeah.
been so like I don't know how long I've been here, so hopefully everything's okay in the outside world back home. But like maybe I focus on the story
Mhm.
and try to like memorize every little bit of it. I don't know. It's very interesting. I feel like that's what Jed would do.
Nice. Well, and I have no problem because like here's the thing, right? When I decided to go with like, oh, a children's book, when I decided to go with that inspiration hit me whenever I was thinking of one of my favorite childhood books because I used to read a lot when I was a kid, and the Dr. Seuss book, Oh, the Places You'll Go.
Yeah.
And to this day, I remember pictures in it, and I don't remember word for word, but I remember the message of it and that kind of thing. And to this day, every once in a while, like especially when I'm traveling, I'll just be like, "Oh, the places you'll go," and they'll just like pop in my head. And I was just like, I feel like Jed's that way. I feel like he's
Yeah.
adventurous, and that started from a place of like imagination and that sort of thing. That being said, cross-referencing to that book during gameplay, from here on in, you're welcome to it. That's your
Okay.
childhood book, and if you remember something from it, you remember something from it. That's not, yeah, you're totally good to
Well,
do that.
let's just say that this is the first time he's thought about it since he was
Yeah.
17 and he read it. And then it's so fresh in his mind. Maybe he
Mhm.
like tries to piece the story back in. So I won't like quote it word for word in the
No,
game now
yeah,
that I have it.
but you can just
But
just have it in your head. In your head.
I'll be like, oh, I used to read this story when I was a kid about this, and
Mhm.
I wonder if it has anything to do with that, and maybe somebody will know something about it if it's popular or not.
Yeah, yeah.
Or something. I don't know. It'll be
Mhm.
fun. I'm excited for the next session. I'm super pumped, actually.
I am so excited for the next session.
We're in the
Um,
city.
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. There's. Oh man, I wish I could tell. I wish I could tell you all the
I
stuff I want.
know. You could just tell me. I mean, it's
Oh,
fine.
Matthew,
I
ah, I want to so bad. I really hope Jaden can play. Oh, I really hope he can. Do you know what's going on with him? Did he get in trouble again?
I don't know. I don't know.
Mm.
I don't know. I do know that it was just his birthday, and they've been doing all this birthday stuff, which is
Yeah.
fine. No
Yeah.
problem. But like, I don't know.
Yeah. Nah, I mean, My only thing is like if you're not gonna make a session, just let me know ahead of time. That little thing, which I'm not upset at him or anything. I hate that he's missing out on things. Is really what it is.
Yeah, that's
Um,
how I feel too. I don't want to write him out. You might need to maybe directly text him and be like, "Hey, look, so
yeah.
I'm gonna have to like, because I need to. Well, you need to do it. Your DM, not me.
Yeah.
Just because the sword is of such importance to the story, and he's not
Mhm.
here, and I feel like we're getting close.
Yes.
I feel I have that feeling of like,
Hmm.
ooh. Um. So yeah, no, it's just funny.
Yeah.
It's just really funny.
I think the really one thing is that, like I've said, well, I mean, I think I've said this. This particular campaign is made with the hope and the desire that every single one of you guys keeps your character alive to the very end.
Yeah, I hope
Hopefully.
so.
Hopefully. I really hope so. If not, I'll make it work somehow. Um but I would love to see these characters make it to the end. I
Hey,
will.
there's a prophecy about us. We'll be fine.
Yeah, yeah.
But you
There's
can't
something like
tell
that.
who the people in the prophecy
I
are
was
though.
gonna say. I mean,
So it's a little
eh,
dangerous.
yeah. Um, I will say this much though. Getting to the Silver City is is definitely entering like the next chapter of the
The book.
campaign.
Yeah.
um it's going to get harder.
Oh, I know. I figured. That's
Yeah.
why I was like, are we leveling up? Because things I feel like are about to
it's
explode.
it's gonna
We're only level like 5.
yeah. I've
I was like,
already I've maybe this is well, I guess this would be a good time to ask you. I had this idea, right, of in-game wills, in the sense of, and this is actually meta, but it's also applicable to in-game because, like, okay, so like for Jaden, right?
mm,
um his playing is like a little inconsistent. We don't know sometimes when he's going to make it, when he's not. But like next time we get a chance, um I would like to have everyone make an in-game will to where, like, either A, if your character dies, or B, if you actually have to stop playing or whatever, this is like the follow-up of what happens with your character that you want for it. um
yeah, like in the case that I can't play ever with you guys again, I want you to have this, you to have this. If I die in the game, I want you to have this, you to have this. And then when I write up a new character to come in, I want you guys to be like, hey, here's his stuff. I don't want it. Like I get it. Yeah.
yeah, so, something like, just even if it's just as simple, I was gonna say, I mean, it could be that, or it could be as simple as like, hey, this is how I want my end story to be. Like, I went away traveling, or oh no, I actually died, and this is whatever. I think just having that as a backup, like, hopefully you never have to use it, but having it on hand would be good. That being said, if you guys do end up getting killed at some point, I'm still gonna have, like, I mean, like, we'll keep playing, obviously. Um, but I'm gonna make sure it's commemorated. I'm gonna make sure it's commemorated because I love your characters. I put so much, like, thought into your characters, and I love it. I'm obsessed. It's an obsession. But I'm
Well,
just so
hopefully
glad
we
you're.
don't die.
Oh yeah, no, hopefully not. But I've gotten to this point where I mean, you guys are excellent players. You really are. Even like when Jaden maybe throws in a wild card once in a while, like you guys are, even him. You guys are all fantastic players, and you and Ben are magnificent when it comes to your knowledge of the game and everything like that. And I never cease to have a good time with it.
Yeah, I have
Um,
fun every time, and
yeah, and so I'm very, very much looking forward to seeing how the city treats you, because there's gonna be so much in that, dude. That's
yeah.
gonna be something. Um,
I'm excited. I was thinking, oh, you said something earlier, made me like think about it. Like,
Mhm.
did I act a certain way the other day to make you think I wasn't feeling great or something? Or did I say something?
Oh, like the last playthrough, you mean?
Yeah.
No, no. I mean, like I know your like back was hurting and stuff like that.
Oh, I told you that because you were like, "Are you feeling better from last time?" And I'm like, "How did he know?"
Yeah,
I wasn't in the best of moods and I was tired, but that's not your
I could
fault.
detect that as well, but I
Yeah,
wasn't sure if that was because of the back pain or whatever else. I was like, you know what?
yeah.
He knows he
It
can tell me
it
stuff.
was it was kind of from the back pain and some other stuff, and then
I got
I went to physical therapy, and they were like, "Dude, you're gonna be good in 4 weeks if you do these stretches every
you. Yeah,
day." And you're. I was like, "Oh, okay, cool. Never mind. I'm not sad anymore.
yeah.
I'm not broken entirely."
Good, good, good.
So, but yeah,
Ugh.
man.
All right. Well, dude, thank you so much for
Yeah,
playing. And
yeah.
yeah, hopefully, by next, not this upcoming, but next Sunday, hopefully I can have something ready. And if not, we can at least schedule, when it's gonna definitely be. Um,
I'm hoping to stick to like every other like on your schedule with every other Sunday night. I don't think I guess Jaden's never gonna be able to play again. I don't know because every time he's like, "Yeah, we can do that," he like magically forgets how to log on to his phone. So daggum stinker. I might have to text him and see what's going on. But
I'll reach
I'll
out to you as well.
yeah, I'll hit you up before and we'll try to
Yeah.
make sure everything's solid. Even if it's just me, you, and Ben, that's
Yeah.
fine too.
I will honestly, like I said, I got so much stuff coming up to where if he can make it, I would love that. I
Yeah.
have so much in store for his character, personally and main campaign wise.
Mhm.
But there's so many pieces to this. It's gonna be good no matter what. You know.
Well, I'm excited, man.
Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
I'm just so happy you reached out to me that day and asked me to get a campaign together. Because man,
Yeah.
I I had not played in so long at that point. I reached a point where I genuinely was like, man, I don't know if I'm ever gonna write a campaign again. Like I was like, I'm so busy and this, that, and the other. And then finally you reached out one day and I was just like, we can make this happen, we can do this. And I mean, shoot, we're like, when did we first start playing this campaign? I guess
We
I could.
started on
Whoa.
Saturday, April 15th,
Are you looking in
2023.
the chat thingy?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was the first time in chat. Maybe it'll
Yeah.
show it. Does it show it on videos? Like call history or something?
On the Skype thing, it's just Saturday, April 19th or 29th, 2023.
Calls, contacts. So April is kind of when we started, I guess. I mean, that's pretty
Yeah.
far along.
Mm-hmm.
That's very interesting. It's been a
Like what?
while.
Like 10 months, just about.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, that's nuts.
That is nuts.
It's almost been a year.
It
Yeah,
was nice to be here.
we've been going. Dude, I'm sorry. I'm trying to like,
Oh, you're
bro,
fine.
that's nuts. I can't believe that. All right, well, shoot, it's almost been a year and we've done a lot. We've come a long way too.
Mm-hmm.
I think we did one session with what's her name? Um,
McKenna.
Dude, yeah,
Yeah.
or one or two.
I think we technically did two with
Oh
her,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then we
One
did.
without her, one with Chad and his girlfriend, I
Yeah, I
guess.
think there was one where Chad played just himself, and then there was like one where it was Chad and his girlfriend.
That was the
Um,
that was the second session because that's when we went into the caves.
mhm.
The first one was the beginning, waking up. Oh no, Chad was there too, and then he went.
It was a mess.
Oh yeah. Well, and I I will say this, the one session that to this day I'm just like, oh man, this one did not go well. It was the one in the forest with the alligator and stuff like that.
That
Just
was
because
Jaden's first.
that was Jaden's first, and it was Chad, Alyssa, you, Ben, Jaden. So there's a ton of people, and I know like Alyssa, she did great. It was her first time, but like that being said, when you have like a first timer and more experienced people, it was wild. It was very chaotic,
Yeah,
but still a good time. Still a good time.
it was. It was
But
fun.
I'm just happy I got you guys, and my girlfriend's always like, when are you gonna post the next TikTok? And she which by the way, I know you guys haven't met her, but my girlfriend loves all of you.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
yeah, my girlfriend loves all of you. She's like, Matthew seems so cool. He seems so fun to play with, and I'm like, yeah, he is. And then she's like, Ben is adorable. I'm like, Ben is adorable. He is. She's like,
It's
yeah,
funny.
he needs to be protected. I'm like, yeah.
I'm looking. I love the TikTok you just put up. It was so funny.
Oh, the one from the other night.
Bonk.
Dude, I literally, I got done playing. I was like, I have to make that a video ASAP because that was so funny.
I saw that. As soon it was so funny. You were playing such a serious role, and I was like, finally, right at the end of the session, feeling better. I don't know. Sometimes I'm like,
No, it happens, dude. It's all
I'm
right.
like all over the
Yeah.
place, and so I was like, I remember I was finally like laughing and kind of not that I wasn't having fun before, but kind of
You
getting
don't
into
change to it,
myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told myself tonight I was gonna try to play my character. I'm gonna try to play Jed,
Yeah.
and so because I've been watching more D&D stuff, and I'm like, oh, I gotta stop doing that. Which is meta gaming is one thing. Everybody meta games just a little bit or a lot, whatever. But I
Mhm.
was tired of not being like, you would ask me a question like, what's Jed thinking? And instead of being like, Jed's thinking this, I'd be like, oh, I don't know, probably something about hitting him. Or you'd be like, a character would be like, so Jed, what do you think? And I would be like, I think Jed's thinking about this, instead of being like,
Mhm.
I don't know, Gisarian. I think maybe we shouldn't go in there because it could be
Mhm.
dangerous. You're not playing
Yeah.
my character basically.
Mhm.
So I'm just trying to loosen up a little because I really don't care.
Yeah.
At first, when you started recording these, I was so scared. I was like, oh, I don't want anybody to see me. I don't. Now I'm like,
Which
I don't.
which
I
I think it was
literally don't
like I
care.
think it was like three sessions in where I finally was like, oh, by the way, can I start posting these, you guys? Like after I'd already started doing it, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I do apologize if you ever don't want to, have something or whatever, but please let me know. You like,
No, I don't mind. I don't mind. I used to care at first. Like I thought, oh man, what if somebody's? And then I thought, I don't really care.
yeah.
I don't care. I literally don't care. So
Well,
I
it's
enjoy the
amazing.
TikToks. I think they're fun.
Well, awesome. I'm really glad. And honestly, dude, like for me, um, I was terrified to start posting them. And I was very self-conscious about them. And I still get self-conscious about them depending on if I know someone in particular is watching them or something.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think kind of I don't know, I've kind of like gotten to this point where it's like it's just a part of me, you know? Like it's a part of me like every other part of me. Like I have my band account and that's a certain part of me, but then I have my D&D account and that's a part of me. It's like it's all just me, you know?
Yeah.
And honestly, I would post it all on the same channel, except I like to keep the audiences, specific and that sort of thing. But at the end of the day, like I've said before, it's really I make the videos for myself because I like to go back and relive those things, and I also like to
Yeah.
the story, like be able to go back and be like, oh, this happened in this campaign. I can, or this session, I can tie it in here and
Yeah.
cross reference and things like that. But yeah, seriously, if you're ever, even if it's just like you're just having a day where you just don't feel good and your vibe is just not it. If you're like, if you ever text me, you're just like, hey, I wasn't really in it today, so it's okay. All you gotta do is tell me. It's all right.
Yeah, yeah.
I will not be upset or anything about that. So, but that being said, you are top of the podium on like my favorite videos that I've made and stuff like that because you're so funny, dude. you're so funny.
What did I do?
Oh no, like whenever I go back and I just rewatch the TikToks, just at any given time, you've been the source of some kind of laughter for me.
Oh yeah.
Like, but at the same time though, some of my favorite moments with just general gameplay, just in general, like you're like one of my best friends, so I am a little biased, but it's also like, no, you're one of my best friends because you have this quality, and this is what I like in a friend and stuff like that. I'm recalling like the time when y'all were facing the giant demon monster thing in that like dreamscape that the bad guy was putting your brain in, and it was that moment where Artie said like, I'm the one that's going to break your mind, and then you caught that and you were like, mind.
I was like, oh really?
Yeah. and that was a totally unintentional hint. I did not plan for you guys to get out of that without honestly killing you. I planned on killing you and then be like, oh, you wake up. No. But no, seriously, but you caught that and then you started doing that thing, and I'm like, well, no, they broke it. They broke the fourth wall on it in game, not out of game. Like in game, you broke the fourth wall, identifying the fact that it wasn't there. I'm like, they got it. They solved it. I can't use that anymore. And
dude, you did a great job. That was so funny. It was amazing. It was a great part. I love the part where Art's like, no.
no.
Oh, and then I love like later. Actually, I'll say this about you. Well, you say you choose me and you like my stuff because of who I am, and we're friends, and you're one of the best friends I have. I admit that too. You are, and that's why I was like, I'm choosing Doug to be my DM for this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because of who you are. One, because I enjoyed you being the DM in the past for games that we've actually played, but then two, because I know who you are. Yeah. And I knew what you were going to do. And I also know you're funny and you're going to put it together. Like if you would have told me, hey, I want you to be DM, I'd have been like, okay. I would have never put anything on video, right? I would have never done any of it or thought to do any of that ever in my life. That's just not who I am. But that's who you are. And I don't mind that. I'm fine with it. I'm the same person that I think I've held cameras for you while you're like, I'm going to do this. And I'm like, okay, go. It's like it happens very rarely. I think it only happened once, but
I think so too.
But what I'm saying is that basically, like, I've always been on the Doug train. Let's go. Doug's like, I'm gonna make a video and you're gonna be in it, and I go, okay. And then, or hey, you're gonna play Hopper. You're one of my best Topper, excuse me. Yeah. You're one of my best friends in this play. Come sing this song about Christmas with me. And I go, okay.
Yeah.
I walk into a coffee shop, a really weird coffee shop to do tryouts, and you're like, you're my friend now. You're my friend now.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, it's funny. Me and Christina were talking about love languages the other day, and like just now in this moment, I think it occurred to me, like I think one of my love languages is literally like making videos, because it's I mean, a picture's worth 1,000 words. How many pictures are in a video? I don't know.
Thousands upon thousands of frames.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. And so now, like, I'm sure I've shown you like me and Robert's old like Game Boys videos. Yeah, and I was gonna say, and those were never made with the intention of gaining an audience. Those were never, we weren't gonna be the next Smosh or anything. But it was just like, nah, this is us goofing around, and this is a way to like keep those memories. And I think maybe subconsciously part of it's like, I don't want to lose this, so I'm going to make memories and keep them permanently in video form. But at the same time, I, live in the moment and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Definitely got to find that balancing act. But nah, dude, I have a great time with you, and I'm so looking forward to everything to come, whether it's in this campaign or a future one with you or whatever, whatever. I will say this real quick. I know I'm keeping you on everything, but I thought about in a future campaign, right? I thought about eventually, depending on how everything goes with the TikToks and stuff, I would really like to have certain people on TikTok join in a future campaign with me.
Yeah.
Because there have been a few people that have DM'd me and like responded to a couple of my videos and shown interest. And hopefully by that time I hope to be more efficient with the official rules and that sort of thing. And the mechanics. But if/when that happens, dude, if you or Ben or Jaden can ever pop in the way like my dad does sometimes and pop in for like a one shot once in a while, just like surprise them, dude, I think you would be astonished the reaction your presence would get. Because dude, people literally like they DM me often and like people love the videos with you guys. Like I like y'all are fantastic, basically is what I'm saying. It's always a good time. But also if Sabrina ever wants to join in for one shot, I'm certain I could make it happen.
She never will.
I was gonna say it's probably not her thing. That's okay.
Well, I've tried to get her to play like multiple times, but she's like, I'll just no. And I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. You have fun over there.
Yeah.
No, it's not bad. I'm surprised she ain't looking on the corner. No. Yeah, man. So super fun. But hey, man, thanks for the session. Super excited for our next session and for everything that comes. And I would love if you ever had other people playing to freaking pop in and mess with them. That would be amazing. Like I would
for
love
me
to
to
do
pop in,
that.
you mean?
No, for me to pop in and mess
Yeah,
with people.
yeah, absolutely.
Oh my
Absolutely.
gosh.
That
Like,
would be
hello.
How
are you?
traveler?
Yes, I am old. Yeah, but I'll stab your heart.
You just play like a chaotic evil or something like that, just pop in, start murder hoboing, and they're like, wait a minute, but no, we love your character. Why are you doing this? And
And I'll be like, you failed to notice. I'm a bard.
I roll to seduce the dragon.
That's not even a thing. It's the funniest. Whatever. I'll get into that. Well, hey man, I'm probably gonna jump off. So we're shooting for. Let me talk about that really quick. I still gotta catch up on some of your TikToks. I'm behind, but I gotta watch Daniel's story.
By the way, are you Fish McGee?
Yeah. Why?
Okay. I was just wondering because I obviously like.
Oh, you didn't?
I didn't know. know.
I'm Fish McGee. Yeah.
I figured, and I couldn't even tell you why I figured. I think I just saw the name. I'm like, that's a very Matthew name, but I'm not sure.
Fish McGee, and my profile picture is Nico. So.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, that's mine. I don't post anything, but
no, yeah, it's. Oh no, I've even checked the chat. I've been like, do I know who this is? And then I was like, I just need to ask Matthew sometime,
Yeah.
But yeah,
Fish McGee, because I think you're Fish McGee.
Okay, all right, cool. So, I figured.
The 25th is when we're playing next, then, right?
That's the game plan. Yeah.
I should be home by then. So
okay.
I fly out the 19th to go pick up my brother-in-law from the army. He's in Washington, and we're driving from Washington. Here's the camera. Is this on the left side of your screen or the right side?
Well, your box is on the right side, but your hand is on the left side of your screen.
On the left side of my screen. Okay, so this is Washington, California, and then this is Florida over here.
whatever. We're going down. We're not going
Mhm.
like across because there's too much snow and he's got a
Oh,
baby
you're
car.
doing like the
We're
dip
going
and
a big freaking L, so it's gonna take
gotcha.
like 5 days to come home. Like,
You know what
so
though? Besides Washington, I've done that drive. We drove from Florida to Anaheim.
oh
Um,
shoot,
so I'm familiar with it.
that's a long drive, isn't it?
It is. It is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
but
18-hour days. I was like,
Mhm.
ah.
Oh, absolutely,
But
absolutely. But
we're gonna make it back.
well, awesome. Well, dude, keep me posted. Thank you so much for playing. I had a
Heck
good
yeah.
time, and yeah, hopefully we will be good to go. And obviously, after such a quest, if you're tired or something like that, you just let me know. You know, it's okay. So just let me know what ends up happening. It's all good.
Oh no, I should be fine. I should be fine.
All right.
But we'll see. But yeah, man, you have a good night.